Good morning. This is still unit percents, student handout number 3. So the last thing before the quiz. All right, let's get started with the joke. Let's see what we got here.
Why did the coach go to the bank? To get his quarterback.
One more.
I got a good deal on a radio with no volume control. I couldn't turn it down.
That was kind of goofy. I didn't like that one. All right. Percentages are used frequently in real life. For real. I do it all the time to figure out tax, or I do it all the time to figure out my tip when I'm going out to eat. So this is something you're going to use in real life. So we're going to try to use some mental math on top of this. All right. Percentages are used frequently in real life, and they can be solved in two ways. All right, let's fill in the blank. Set up a percent proportion. Turn my pen on. Percent proportion. Using the formula below. All right, I'm going to give you some hints. Well, let's talk about the left side first. First, let's talk about this side. That side is always going to be the same. We don't know the percent a lot of times. Sometimes we're going to be looking for the percent. So sometimes this is going to be X. X is going to be right there. Sometimes. Sometimes X is going to be right there beside part. And then sometimes it's going to be right there beside whole. But you know where it's never going to be? It's never going to be right there where 100 is. Because the percent is always out of 100. What if the percent's over 100 and it's like 210%? It's still over 100%. So that 100 is never going to change. Never, ever, ever. So it's going to be percent over 100 equals part over whole. And the key words when you're looking in the sentence to identify the part and the whole, if you see the word is, yes, I want you to write this, that means part. You're not always going to see that word, but if you do see that word, whatever number's right there with it, that's going to be the part. And the key words you're looking for when it talks about whole is the word of. Again, they're not always going to use those words, but a lot of times, most of the time, they use those two words. All right, we're going to plug the given values into the percent equation. And then we're going to solve for the missing value. All right, the part is going to equal the percent times whole. The percent has to be a decimal, though. Percents are decimals. They're less than 100. Now, what if it was more than 100% and it was 200%? Then it would be 2 point whatever the percent was. If I was like 210, it would be 2.10. But if it's under 100%, which is all we're dealing with right now, then it's just going to be a decimal, 0 point something. That's if you're looking for the part. But we're really not going to do it that way. I'm going to show you the way we're going to do it. All right. Number 1. The 7th grade class held an end-of-the-year dance of, keyword, of the 300 7th graders, 246 decided to attend. And then what are we looking for? What percent? Okay? So let's set it up. The percent is always over 100. We're looking for the percent because it says what percent. So the percent is X. Of tells us it's the whole. The word of there and that number. And then what's the number left? 246. That's the part. Because 300 is the total amount of students, 246 is actually what came. So it's the part of the whole. All right, now we're just gonna do, now we're gonna do our butterfly. Okay, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is I'm gonna draw it over here. You write down whichever way you like to do this, okay? I'm gonna do the butterfly over there to the right where green and red is, and I'm gonna do all right. Let's do the butterfly first. 100 times 246 is a big old number. It's gonna be 24,600. And then 300 times x is gonna be 300x. And then you're just gonna divide 300 by both sides. And you're gonna get 82 equals x. Now, over here on the other one, how did we go from 300 down to 100? We did what? We divided by 3. So how do we go from 246 down to x? We divide by 3. 246 divided by 3 is, you guessed it, 82. So whichever one of those you like, that's the one you write down, as long as you know what you're doing. Now, the answer is not just 82 equals x. The answer is 82% equals x. Why is it percent? Because that's what they ask us for, is the percent. So the answer is 82% equals x. All right. Number 2. A farmer decides to sell 32 pounds of the 96 pounds. So what's the whole? 96. And what's the part? 32. So we know that the percent is always going to be over 100. And then we are looking, you're looking for the percent. So we're looking for the percent equals 32 over 96. Now, for you people that like to look at 196 and figure out how you went into it, here's another way you can look at it. We're going to do the butterfly over here to the left this time. So this time we're going to do the butterfly over here. And we'll do that in just a second. How do we go from 96 to 100? Okay? I don't know. But no ideas? Yeah, I don't either. Okay? Now, let's go over here and do the butterfly. And then we'll come back to that. 100 times 32. 0 times 96 is 96 times x is 96x. 100 times 32 is 3200. And then you just divide by 96. And you're left with, I believe it's 33 1/3, I think. But let me divide it out just to be sure. It is 33.3. Repeating equals X. All right. Remember, it is percent. All right. Question number 1. What is the name of the wizard school Harry Potter attended? What is the name of the wizard school that Harry Potter attended? All right, number 2, second one of the day. In the movie Frozen, what is the name of Elsa's sister? What is the name of Elsa's sister? All right, number 3. On an average Saturday, 15% of tickets, so we got percent this time, so we're not looking for percent this time, are sold to children. There were 460 tickets sold. How many were sold to children? All right. We know the percent this time. We know it's 15 over 100. Now, Coach, there's no of and there's no is in this sentence. So which one's which? Well, we got to think about it. It's not always going to be. If there were 460 tickets sold, do you think that's total or part? How many were sold to children? Do you think that's total or part? That's part because they're still adults. So the children is parts. So that's what X is going to be. Let me change that. And the whole is going to be 460. Okay? Now, we're just going to do our little 15 times 460 and 100 times X. 100 times X is just 100X equals 460 times 15. I ain't got a clue. It's 6,900. Now you're going to divide by 100. And your answer is going to be X is going to equal 69. Now, this time it is not percents this time because it's talking about tickets. So it is not percents this time. Now, on this one, for you guys that don't like the butterfly, you could have did it without the butterfly this time. You could have said, how many times does 100 go into 460? Okay, and you would have came up with 4.6. You could have divided 460 divided by 100 and got 4.6. 15 times 4.6 is the same thing of 69. Up here, I did not do that. I forgot to. You could have did 100 divided by 96, which was 1 point something. I don't remember what. And then you could have did it times 32. I forgot to write that one down. I'm sorry. All right. Number 4. A campus demographics include 480 female students. 480 female. This represents 64% of the student body. How many total students are enrolled? How do I know total students enrolled? It don't say total, Coach. Well, 480 are female. What about the males? Okay, the 480 females are part. So we know the percent is 64 over 100 equals the part, which is the women, of 480 over the men. I don't know how many boys. Okay, now for you people that like to just do the scaling method, how many times will 64 go into 480? 480 divided by 64 is 7.5. So you need to multiply times 7.5. 100 times 7.5 is 750. There are 750 total students, not males. There's 750 total. Now, for the ones of you that like to do butterfly, let's set that up over here. All right, you butterfly people, 100 times 480 is 48,000 equals 64x, and then you're going to divide by 64, and you're going to get the same thing we got, a 750. All right, so 750 total students. All right, this time Trisha made a 56 on her test. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Trisha made a 56 on her test. She got 14 correct. How many questions were on the test? Good Lord. Questions on the test. She got 14 right, and she 56. All right, so we know the percent is 56. We know that she got 14 right. That is part. Why is that part? Because that's not the total amount of questions on the test. That's only the ones that she got correct. So we're looking for the whole. All right, for you people that like to just look at them this way, how many times will 14 go into 56? 4. So you divide it by 4. So the same thing you need to do here is divide by 4. And you're going to get what? 25. The other way to do that is cross product, which I'm going to do right here, which is AKA the butterfly. All right, here goes your butterfly. 56 times x is 56x. 14 times 100 is 1400. And then you're going to divide by 56 on both sides. And you're going to get x equals the same thing of 25. So X equals 25 questions. Next question, as you flip your paper over. Next question, this is number 3 on your question sets. In Toy Story, what is the name of the cowboy character? If you missed that one, shame on you. In Toy Story, what is the name of the cowboy character? This is number 4. This is number 4 for you. In Spider-Man Homecoming, who plays Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man? In Spider-Man Homecoming, who plays Peter Parker? Which that's Spider-Man. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Who plays that? Who's the real person? All right, moving to the back. 2 more. All right, Jed. Jed owns a music store and has taken inventory to prepare for a new order. He has organized the count of instruments in the table below. Help Jared analyze in his store and place an upcoming order. Let's find the percent of each of the instruments. So first of all, before we do that, we have the part, right there. Each one of them's the part, okay? We have the percent because we're looking for it, so it's going to be X. So what are we missing? We're missing the whole. So what is the whole? It's going to be all of the instruments added up. So out here, we're going to write whole, which is all of them added up, and then we're going to add all of those up. So go ahead and add all those up on your calculator. I counted 500. All right, now we know that our formula is percent, over 100 equals part over whole. Okay, so now for the string instruments, we're looking for the percent. The part is how many instruments we have. The part is how many instruments we have over the total, which was 500. Same thing for percussion. We're going to work them out in just a minute. Same thing for percussion. It's going to be, we're looking for the percent. Okay, the part is 90, the whole is 500. All right, let's do wind. Same process. Percent over 100, because that's what we're looking for. The part is 159, because that's how many wind instruments he has. And then the total is 500 because that's how many total instruments he has. And then the same thing for brass. Same exact process. He don't know the percent. He's looking for it. It's always over 100. There are 186 parts, which he has. And then the total instruments he has is 500. So we need to figure out what percentage of each instrument he has. Now, I've set it up for you. I want you to work each one of them out. You can pick your method. Don't care. Okay? So go ahead and work those out. Pausing now. All right, welcome back. The answer should have been 13%, 31.8%, 18% and 37.2%. All right, how do I know that I'm correct when I did that, Coach? Add up all the percents and they should equal what? 100. So if you add up the 4% you got, they should equal 100. If they do, then you probably did them all right. All right, B. Based on previous sales, Jed determines that he would like to order 30% more percussion instruments. How many percussion instruments should Jed order? I don't even want us to use pencil and paper on this, okay? I want to do this in our head. So let's think about that. How many percussion instruments has he ordered? Let's write that down. He already has, 90. I want to know 30% of 90 because he wants to order 30% more. So what is 30% of 90? Okay. First of all, we can do this because we can break 30% in down to 10%. How many 10% is 30%? It is 3 10%. Do y'all agree with that? 30%, those are the same thing. Except the 10% is just the broke down version. We agree with that? Perfect. So what is 10% of 90? What is 10? If you divide 90 divided by 10, what are you going to get? Why did you divide it by 10? How many 10% are in 100? 10. So to break down 100% into 10, you just divide by 10. So 90 divided by 10 is 9. So 10% of 90 is 9. And then I do that 3 times and I add them up and I get 27. There's another way to do that. There's another way. In your calculator, I want you to go 90 times, remember percents or decimals, 0.3. You can put the 0 at the end if you like. And what are you going to get when you go 90 times 0.3? Yeah, you're going to get 27. This means 90, which is the whole, times 30%, which is going to tell you what 30% is. Okay? It's not the last way. The next way to do it would have been to set it up as a proportion. We know that he wants 30% more out of 100, always out of 100, equals, we know the part we don't know because we're looking for how much to order more, but we know the whole is 90. And then you could have did your butterfly method. And when you did that, guess what you would have gotten? 27, same exact thing. Okay, so any of those 3 ways. Number C. After the order arrives, Jed has a total of 130 string instruments. What percent of his string instruments are new? So we're looking for what? We're looking for shouldn't do that in black. We're looking for the percent. What do we know? Has a total of 130. That's total. So let's set up our proportion. We're looking for the percent, right? We know that he has 130 now. Well, what's the part, Coach? What did he start with? 65. So he started with 65. Now, use your method of whatever you want and solve that problem. You can use butterfly or scaling, whichever one you like. Pausing now. All right, welcome back. Here's the way I would have done it. I would have said 100 to 130 is times 1.3. Times 1 or divided by 1.3. And you would have gotten 50 is your answer. You could have did cross products. You could have chosen a number besides 1.3 that would have worked. I don't care as long as you got 50. All right, questions number 5 and 6. 5 and 6. What is the name of the kingdom Shrek lives in? What is the name of the kingdom or swamp? No, the kingdom that Shrek lives in. Not the swamp, the kingdom. And number 6 for today, in the Hunger Games, what is the name of the main character played by Jennifer Lawrence? In the Hunger Games, what is the name of the main character played by Jennifer Lawrence? What's the main character's movie name in the movie? All right. Southbrook Middle School tabulates the number of students who participate in school athletic program. They have displayed the percentages of students who participate in the table below. No participation is 12, only one sport is 42, two sports is 28%, three or more is 18. If the Southbrook Middle School has 850 students, then how many students participate in the various sports? All right, remember, it is percent over 100, part over whole. Okay? So what is the percent? We know that for each one, right? So let's set up a problem for each one. We know the percent is 12 for the first one. It's always over 100. Now, do we know the part or do we know the whole? We know the whole 850. So what are we looking for? The part. And guess what? It's going to be the same on each one of them. 850, 100, X, and the percent on one sport is 42. The total is always going to be the same, 850, because that's the total amount of students. The percent is going to change based on what they told us up there at the top. So two sports is 28, and three or more is 18. And then we're looking for the parts. All right, so you use your method and go ahead and solve those. Use your method and go ahead and solve those. I'm pausing now. All right, welcome back in. The answer to the first one is 102 students. The next one was 357. The next one was 238. And the last one was 153. Again, how do I know if I got them right? Add them all up and see if they add up to what? 850. If they all add up to 850, so if you go 102 plus 357 plus 238 plus 153, did they add up to 850? Yes, they do. We're good. Okay? Here's what I would have done on each one of them. 100 goes into 850. You multiply it times 8.5. And you could have just did that to all of them. You could have just multiplied the percent times 8.5 and got your answer. Because how did I go from 100 to 850 every time? I multiplied it by 8.5. Well, I didn't know I multiplied it by 8 times 5. Well, you could have divided 850 divided by 100. You would have got 8.5, so it's 100 times 8.5. Last two questions. In Finding Nemo, what kind of fish is Nemo? In Finding Nemo, what kind of fish is Nemo? And the last one of the day. In Star Wars, who is Luke Skywalker's father? In Star Wars, who is Luke Skywalker's father? All right, the answers. Number 1 was Hogwarts. Number 1 was Hogwarts. Number 2 was Anna. Number 2 was Anna. Number 3 was Woody. Number 3 was Woody. Number 4 was Tom Holland. Number 4 was Tom Holland. Number 5 was Far, Far Away. Number 5 was Far, Far Away. Number 6 was, hang on, 1, 2, 4, 6. Number 5 was Far, Far Away. Okay. Number 6 was Katniss Everdeen. Number 6 was Katniss Everdeen. Number 7, Nemo was a clownfish. Nemo was a clownfish. And the last one, Luke's father was Darth Vader. Luke's father was Darth Vader. That's all I got. I'll see you on the flip side. Adios, amigos.